Alrighty, so here I am again, deciding to make another YouTube video, because I've definitely been wanting to make more YouTube videos, but all the War Thunder stuff I've made has had no game audio for some odd reason. So you know what? I just decided I'm going to make a video about some random topic today. So in 12 minutes, I'm going to try to fit this down while having some gameplay in the background. That wasn't going to be used for a video. This video is for pretty much the people, I'd say like 16 to 25 years of age range, because, alright, listen, I think it's a slight understatement to say that there's just a minor dating problem in society these days. Alright, I mean, come on, like, just the way everything's gone, like, could you really blame me for saying that? When you have all the, I mean, you guys have probably scrolled around and seen videos, and no matter on what you're watching this, you're going to be watching this video on YouTube, but if you've got other things, I know you've seen it, you've seen some of these crazy things that's happened, but you know, I aim to kind of give out some advice and, you know, hopefully try to fix some of these problems. So this message is for all of you males out there, mostly. I mean, you ladies can listen in too if you want, just to see how I function in society, at least in terms of modern day. So, all right. The first thing I kind of want to say is she is going to be the most important thing in your life. I would even argue either as important or maybe even slightly more important than family, and I bet some of you are going to be like, wow, that's a bit of a bold statement. I'm like, but how so? Well, yes, your family is very important. They're the ones that are always going to have your back no matter what, or at least should. But she's your future. You'll be spending the rest of your life with her, so do keep that in mind, because if you're looking for somebody to marry, which I know a lot of people these days just don't even want to get married just because of all the stuff that's happened, if you're going to be starting your own future family, you're going to be becoming a family as well. That's just kind of something to put it in perspective there. That's how important she's going to be when you're looking for a special girl. So, you know, guys, you suck sometimes. Like, I admit, I've had my fair share of mistakes. You could talk to a few people that I've dated, and yeah, they could probably tell you some of the things I've done wrong. But, you know, there are things that I have learned, right? If you don't learn anything from your experiences, then it really wasn't worth it. So if you get something out of it, that's great. I mean, it's really just about, you know, what you learn. But I do have a little bit of a question. So if you loved a girl and she loved you, what would you do if she wanted to leave? Would you keep her, or would you let her go? Now, how are you guys going to respond to that question? There really isn't a right or wrong answer. I think there's a right and wrong answer, but everybody's got their different thoughts. That's just a question I want you to think about. Another question, do you know the difference between yes and no? Because, you know, you have all these guys that are like, oh, when she says no, she's actually meaning yes. All right, if you're thinking that, stop it. Stop it. Get some help. But anyways, no, all right? There is times when no means no. All right, I guarantee you 85 to 90% of the time, no means no. And even if you think she's actually meaning yes, still just assume she's meaning no, because you can get into some pretty bad situations that way. Yeah, I know some people who's had some experiences because the guy just did not accept or understand the fact that she was saying no. And he was like, oh, no, she actually means yes. No, that is not the case. Do not be one of those guys. Another question. Do you know if you are what she needs? Well, you can't really know that unless you know exactly what she needs. So what is she going to need? Is she going to need... I mean, if you look at what the man's purpose is supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to protect her from any harm. Can you do that? Is that what she needs? I mean, everybody's going to need to be protected at some point, so that is something you're going to have to think about. But what else does she need? Does she need somebody to support her through difficult decisions? Does she maybe not know 100% how to do this? Or does she need to, like, you really need to consider and think about these things. So, yeah. Of course, you got this grand question that everybody has a differing answer, but I honestly think mostly people has the same. So what is the difference between a boy and a man? All right, I'll give you some of the differences here. A boy will wander all alone on those Saturday nights. A boy will put things before his girlfriend. A boy will let her do things that is harmful to her. A boy will lie to her. A boy will love her, but not in the right way. And a boy will not let her do the things she wants to do. A man will make sure she gets home safe. A man will let her sleep alone. A man will put her first, and a man will listen. A man will love her, and he will mean it. A man will treat her with respect. A man will always do what's right for her. And a man will defend her whether she is right or wrong. That is, at least in my personal opinion, the differentiating factors. Because, I mean, there's also really important things that I would personally like to put in But there's a few things I'm leaving out just because there's certain things you shouldn't say on the internet. But I know you guys won't always know what to say. I know you may not always know when to be funny or when to be serious. But all you need to ask yourself is this. Are you willing to lose sleep, lose a little bit of free time, and possibly go through physical and emotional pain to keep her happy and safe? Are you willing to lose it all just to see her smile? There are things. Now, hopefully, there's nothing, too dire where you have to give up a lot of stuff but sometimes it's going to happen. Sometimes it's going to happen, and you have to be asking yourself, are you willing to do that? If you are not willing to do that, you got some things to work out. But that's why I'm saying, if people really are not able to do a relationship, I completely respect that, because these are things that both sides do have to consider too. It's not just the man's. Because it's a lot of commitment, it's a lot of time. It can be a bit stressful at times. So would you be able to let her go if she needs to leave? And could you respect her decision? That is a question that and again, I'm not you guys don't need to have an answer to these all the way. I'm just asking these questions for you to think about. Because when you ask yourself these questions, you will eventually find the answers. And everybody will have a different differentiating factors here. So, all I've got to say is to all those guys out there, do not tell her I love you unless you truly mean it. Right? That is a word that should be used sparingly until you 100% absolutely know you do. Don't overuse it, because it is a very powerful 3-word phrase. But most importantly, never hurt her in any way, because every time she cries, you are responsible for it. So there is a lot of things with dating society out there that I think needs to be fixed here. I feel like a lot of chivalry has died. I mean, there's still some chivalry somewhere, but I'm like, man. I mean, yeah, you still see everybody holding doors open for people, but what about walking into a restaurant and pulling the chair out for the woman to sit down, and then you walk around to the other side of the table and then sit down yourself? I don't see that anymore. And honestly, I don't see that anymore. Opening car doors you may see once every blue moon, but that is another thing you really don't see. Walking her home at night, yeah, that happens. That still happens these days. Although most of the time it kind of leads to other things. But, I'm very old-fashioned. And wow, I love this clip right here, 105 Tiger and a Panther too, but that's off topic. Anyways. Man, people really need to just figure things out. I mean, I've had a little bit of experience, so who am I to say? I've only been with 2 people, but I've learned a lot from those 2 people I've been with, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's quite interesting, the things I have learned. Because, I mean, obviously, there's a lot to a relationship. You obviously got those people that are like, bro, you haven't had your first kiss yet? Bro, let me tell you, I didn't really think, I thought it would be kind of easy, but it's a little bit more difficult than it's not really hard, but it's just a little more difficult than I was thinking. There was a lot more thought that had to be put into that than I realized. I got a lot of funny stories I could honestly share about some of my first time experiences with things. But yeah, I just thought I should share this because I'm noticing, I mean, here I am in college and I'm looking around and seeing some of the relationships that are around me when I'm sitting down eating lunch, and I'm like, man, some of the stuff I'm hearing is a little questionable here. There's I don't really want to say too much, but there's definitely things that just sound very, I mean, it could be out of context, but I'm like, what? Just for example, I heard somebody the other day, this girl was talking to her friends. She was like, I mean, he doesn't want me to do anything without asking for his permission. And she's like, I honestly even have to, he needs to know where I'm at all the time, what I'm doing, who I'm with. I'm like, I mean, you do you, but I personally, at least for me, I'm like, listen, you can go do whatever the heck you want. If you don't, I trust the people that I date, obviously, because if I don't have trust, then that there's some bigger issues there. I mean, communication is probably the most important thing in a relationship. If you're not communicating, if you're not telling each other, hey, this is what I thought about this, or this is how I'm feeling, then there's going to be some issues that's going to develop down the line. But other things you need to have is you need to have trust and you need to have respect. Trust just makes things a little bit, if you trust her to just go out and do what she wants, she doesn't need to tell you exactly what she's doing all the time. However, if you do have reason to suspect, there may be cheating or something, then maybe that would be a different story. But at least for the two people I've dated, I'm like, yeah, go hang out with whatever. I don't even care if it's a guy or a girl. You got friends. I'm not gonna get in the way of that. I trust you to do your thing. All right, I'm not gonna be angry about it. I got my people I hang out with. Why should I be monitoring you? Or just those kinds of things. And it's just crazy to me how things like this go down, because I'm like, wow. Like, they have lives. People can do what they need to do. I just feel like people tend to forget that sometimes. But, these are just things I kind of wanted to share, because I feel like society needs a little bit of help. I really don't understand. Now, of course, you got the guys who are like, yeah, but we don't want to date because we see how all these women are acting, all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, I can see that side, but not all of them are going to be like that. I mean, of course, there's the saying of the worst you can say is no, which absolutely does not exist anymore. So you could say so much worse, but just realize that not all people are the same on any side, on any spectrum. Like, on any topic, no two people are the same. There's going to be differences. Just take your shot. You never know what's going to happen. All right, walk up, go talk to them, start a conversation. And yes, I still support I am old-fashioned. I feel like the man should still be approaching the girl first, not the other way around. I mean, it's fine if the girl approaches you first, but I try to approach them first just because I'm old-fashioned. But, that's just me. So, yeah. I might post more videos on this. I don't know, depending on how well this does. Whatever comments, I'll answer. Any comments in the. I'll try to give my advice to anybody who's asking. But yeah, just leave a comment down below on any questions, or if you agree, or if you disagree. And if you disagree, I would like to know why. Because I'm open to seeing the other perspectives. But other than that, have a nice day.